Hello everybody, Rex here, and we're finally on part number 4 and the final part of finishing up the Dilophosaurus. So, and I also cut out some of the teeth here, but I'm going to try to do this, and I actually might end up redoing those, but anywho. So before we paint it, because after, pretty much at this point you can paint it, but first I want to show you how I do a top cover over this, because this doesn't look very nice. So what I like to do is put a top coat. So I got a piece of paper here, and what I normally do is it'll kind of lay down on top of here. So what you want to do is kind of just cut a thin line like that, and then you want to lay it down on top of it. Now this one has a little actually the crest kind of gets in the way, so I'm going to kind of cut that. So I'm just going to lay it down and trace that, and hopefully it will fit a little better. And you can do this, at this point you can also lay it down and trace it all the way down if you want to. So what you can do is kind of just lay this down and kind of trace underneath. So you got a kind of a area to cut. Like this. And you don't have to do this, but I do it because it makes it look nice on the top. So, there we go. So what I'm going to do is cut it. I'm not going to cut right on the line, just in case I need to do a little extra trimming. So just cut. Okay. So now it's going to be a little fiddly when I try to get this in here. So you just work on this, and once you get it to fit, we'll attach it. Alright, so I got it to fit in there, and what I did here, just to show you how I cut that, is I pretty much pushed this down, piece of paper down in there, and then I took my pencil and I traced kind of like that inside, and then I cut that, and then it ended up fitting really nicely in. Okay. Alright, so I'm also going to need this. So what you want to do at this point is take your glue here, and because this one's kind of hard to get in here with the glue stick, I'm going to use Elmer's glue for this part. So I'm going to put some glue right down here. Eh. Okay, there we go. Don't want to put too much, just enough to get that attached. And then I want to take this and put the glue on the back, like that. The reason why I don't use the Elmer's glue and the glue stick is because Elmer's glue is actually, it crinkles a little bit more, so this provides a little better of a seal. So just make sure you get it nice and on there. Alright, then take it and line it up and get it in there. Then all you have to do is flatten this back section and just smooth it out like so. Okay, just like that. Use my X-Acto knife here just to kind of keep this nice and flat in there. Might trim that in the front right there. So at this point what I do is I also cut the edges just like this while it dries, because this kind of helps in cutting. So I just do this on both sides, and once this dries, we'll cut it, and then at this point we're ready to paint it. Alright, so once this dries and gets solid, I'll cut it, and then I'll show you what I'm going to be doing for painting, and you can do your own thing. There's no right or wrong way to do this, but I'll show you the way I do it. You can copy me or do something else, alright? Alright, so see you at that point. Alright, doesn't take too long to dry, and I cleaned this side up, but I just want to show you how I did that, just to make it easier for you guys. So what I do is I take my little scissors here. You can use little bigger ones if you have them. But what I do is I do a cut. Then I take my X-Acto knife, and it's kind of hard to film this. Okay, so then I take it, and I'm just gonna run it right along the edge here. Okay, that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to show you how that looks. This creates a nice cover on the very top here. So I'll just show you. Yeah, see how that cuts? Cuts nicely. Just do it just like this. Okay. And there'll be some little leftover bits sometimes. So you just have to cut those. Alright, so just go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you what we're going to do afterwards. So once you have all the back nice and cleaned up, now you want to take your Elmer's glue, and also if you haven't done it yet, make sure you cover the whole guy in Elmer's glue. But now you want to take your glue here and pour it right on the back here, like so. Alright, and you're just going to smooth it all out. Just like this. And also on the sides, because this creates a seal on the little paper line here, as you can see. You want to make sure that's the part that you're sealing up here. So you just want to cover those right on up. Alright, same thing up here in the head. There we go. Just like that. Also, don't put too much glue down, just make sure you put enough down. If it needs another coat, you can give another coat later. Okay, I need my X-Acto blade. X-Acto blade works pretty well for getting the glue in smaller areas, like the toes here. So, there we go. So add a little bit extra Elmer's right here just to make sure that it's nice and sealed up. That looks good. Alright. Okay, so you want to let this dry, and after it dries, just see if you need to put some more down on the sides right at the line here. And then just put any extra Elmer's glue down wherever else just to make sure you get a nice seal. And then we'll move on to painting. While the Dilophosaurus is drying, I just want to show you what I did here. I ended up cutting a little bit of it off down here. It did kind of mess it up a little bit, and then I tried to even this out, which messed that up a little bit. But it doesn't look too bad. It works for what it does. But as you can see here, what I did was I bented it a little bit to give it a nice little curve. So do that to yours. And I'm going to show you how to cut out one pair of these little teeth here. I've already done the other three. And I'm going to show you to do these ones here. So what you can do for the first cut is just use some big scissors. Like that. And then you can cut the sides. Like so. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to use my tiny little scissors, because this is where this comes in very handy. I'll try... Okay, so I'll show you how I do this. I'm going to start with a cut there. And I'm not going to follow these pegs exactly, so just because it's not going to work out that way. So I'm just going to start cutting here. Normally I do a pretty good job with the inner lines, but sometimes I mess up. And this time I did mess up, so I kind of have to just wing these cuts here, which isn't too bad. You just have to cut. Boom, boom. Hey. Okay. It's also good to make sure you cut all the way through. There we go. Very difficult to do this, but it can be done. I hope you can see this quite well. If not, I apologize. It's quite difficult. Okay. This tooth right here still have a little extra on it. So I'll try to cut that. It'll slip off. There we go. So what you want to do here, this is one that's turned out very well, but that's okay. That's okay. They're good. So at this point you want to take your Elmer's glue. Okay. And I already did 2 of these, but I haven't done 2 of them, so I'll show you what to do here. Is you want to take your glue, and you want to put a little bit on them. Okay? And then you just want to cover it all in Elmer's glue. Then just let them dry, and then set them off to the side, because we won't be needing these till we put them into the mouth. Which is probably going to be very hard, because I already did a test fit, and it turned out to be pretty hard. But yeah, it should be okay. Should be okay. And also, while you have them on the table here, move them around a little bit so they don't get too stuck. Alright, so after this point, I'm going to go wash my fingers here, and then I'll show you what to do next. So the Dilophosaurus is almost finished drying, but before we get painting him, I just want to show you the color that I'm going to use. It's pretty much just a gray coat. I'm going to spray it, and then after I'm done doing that, I'm just going to use my markers and give it the final details. That's what I normally do with all my homemade dinos. But this is kind of paint I got at my local hardware store. But the paint that is at Hobby Lobby that I pick up is the Darn you words. Anyways, this is the kind of paint that I pick up. Pretty much any with this word on it will work really well for painting. So I'm not using this one, I just showed you a reference of what kind of paint I picked up at Hobby Lobby for painting. Alright, okay, so at this point, I'll paint it. And I don't really know if I'm going to show you me painting it, but I might. A little bit, I don't know. Okay. Alright, so now we'll just go and we'll get this guy painted, and then we'll get him all finished up. And also don't forget to paint the frill. I did forget one very important thing that I do. So I'm going to show you what it is. You want to take a piece of tape, and I'm going to cover the eye with this because I don't want the eye to be painted. So what I do is I take a piece of tape, I put it on like so. Then I take my X-Acto blade, and what I do is I cut around the eye like this. Okay. I want to make sure that I cut through it, and there we go. So now I got a little piece of tape on there, and I do it to both sides, just with the same piece of tape. So I'll do the same thing over here, and then once these are covered, then we'll go outside and paint it. My setup for painting. Got my can. I'm just going to show you a little bit of how I'm going to do this. It's pretty simple. This is just a thick outer coat. And it's also windy today. But pretty much, I'm a little out here, but all I'm going to do is just spray this. Just like that. Yep, that's pretty much all I'm going to do. Alright, and also I'm going to try to hide these labels. So yep, that's pretty much it. So, paint it the way you want. This is how I'm going to do it. Then I'm going to color it. So I'll see you once I'm done here. Here we are finally at finishing up the coloring. So you can see here these are all finished. And this frill should be able to slip right on here. Like so. Pretty easy. Alright. Nothing seems to be damaged. Great. So what you're going to want to do, I already did it, but you want to cover the whole thing in Elmer's glue, like I did here. So you just want to take your Elmer's glue, pour it on everything, seal it all up, make it nice and sealed. And if you have like little holes and stuff like this, Elmer's glue fills it up pretty nicely. But at this point I'm ready to paint. Well, color. So to finish up the final details, I'm going to use some markers here. And I'm going to put a picture down here to show you what I'm going to base the color off of. The teeth are the very last things that go in, of course. but we'll do that coloring after. We'll do the teeth once we get the colors all done. And this is the frill to one of my Dilophosaurus that unfortunately also to him is the frill. But this is the color I'm going to copy him for this frill I have. Alright, so that's pretty much what I'm going to do. And so let's get started. So first off, I'm going to use my yellow here for the eyes. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to color his eye just like so. Yeah. Then I'll go over to the other side, do the same thing. I need to clean that up, but I'll do that later. All right. And just in case because I will forget, I'll pull the teeth out so we can get those in after we're done coloring it. Okay, so now I'll pull up the picture here. Okay, so now we're going to color this guy up. I've got the markers. We're going to need some black. We're going to need my dark green here. And we're going to need red. And those are the three colors I'm going to be using. So I'm going to color from this side because that's the way I'm looking at the picture right now. So, and I'll probably even need the tiny black one just to get the finer details on. Alright, so here I go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark up the areas where I want the color to be, and then I'm going to use the big black marker to kind of fill it all in. So this is kind of also kind of like winging it. So we're actually going to start here at the head and start right here. So we'll go like that and come up like that. Alright, I'm going to do a loop like that. Alright. And then I'm going to come down like that, and then here I want all of this to be the same color, so I'm going to do that. And then it's got this one little stripe kind of coming down like that. Alright, but it has a little kind of detail like that to it. And then from here, it kind of loops across the neck, so it'll go like that. And then from all this point, it's pretty much kind of like jaggedy. So all we have to do is jaggedy up here, like so. Yeah, this is going to look pretty cool. Alright, then we're going to have across the leg right here. Going to come up like that. Have it coming down like so. Okay, have it cross down here. And kind of just loop it as we go here. Alright. And there's one side done. And then we just swap over and do the other side. So I'll do my best to copy what I've done here onto the other side. So the same thing, we'll do a little circle right here. We're going to come up and do a little like that. This is going to come down. It's going to come up. Okay, and then it's going to come down the face again from this point. Kind of like that. Maybe a little more thicker. Alright. And then we're going to have it loop at the neck, which I'm going to pull it up here so I can kind of see where I'm going to be doing this. So I'm going to do that, and like that. Boom. And then from this point, it's pretty much just winging it and just doing some different markings, and don't have to be accurate here because it doesn't have to be. You might have a different way of doing it, and it might be better than me, but this is kind of how I like to do it. It's fun, and it works for what I'm doing here. And you want to cover it in Elmer's glue because it makes a nice surface to put the permanent black marker on. Alright, so there we go with that touch up. And then we can just go through and use the big black marker to color all of it, but I'm not going to do that just yet, because now I'm going to switch over to my green marker and color in the other areas. So I'm going to pull up the picture I have here, again, just so I can see where I need to put the colors, and where not to put the colors. So the neck kind of, the red kind of starts right there, so I don't want to color that in. Right there, so I'm just going to use this. Yeah, just like that. And kind of just color it just like so. Right to the black. Alright, so kind of just do it like this, and then finish it up. Here we go, the Dilophosaurus is now painted, colored. And for big parts, I used the big black permanent marker. But I even got the nails painted here. And I also wanted to show you that I did manage to put in the little back claws here. See that right there? Yeah. Head's nicely painted. There we go. I might do a little more work on it, but for the most part, yeah, I like it. I like it. So at this point, if you actually have done this kind of setup where you colored it, you want to coat it all in Elmer's glue again. That'll create a permanent seal, so none of this paint, so none of this color brushes off on your fingers or anything. So just do that, and then to that, we'll get the teeth in, and then we'll be done. I've still have to do the frill, but yeah, this guy turned out pretty cool. Alright, so just get the, I covered it all in Elmer's glue, and I'll finish this up, and then we just put the teeth in, and we're done. Yeah, I'm so excited. So now I've got the frill painted here. Looks pretty nice. I'm not going to put it on because I don't want it to damage it at all right now. But yeah, that should look pretty good once I cover it. So at this point, like I said, what I'm going to do at this point is just cover it in Elmer's glue, and then we'll get the teeth in, and then we'll be done. So go ahead and do that. Part where we put the teeth in and finished at that point. So pick the best teeth that you've got. I've picked these two for the ones on the top. So what you want to do is first test fit them. But what you also want to do is take them and push them like this. This is the inner side here, and this is the outer. So you're going to keep it nice and wet. But you first want to push these teeth and kind of curve them outwards so they're popped out like that. Then you want to take a little bit of Elmer's glue, just a very tiny bit. And you're going to put it on the very edge. Make sure it's just very little, especially this, because it's very small. You're just going to put it like that. Make sure it's on both sides. Okay. Then you want to take it, try to get the best shot here. You're going to have to open the mouth, push this, and you're going to slip it in like so. Then you're just going to fiddle around with it, move it around. Use my X-Acto knife to kind of push it around here. Okay. And there we go for the first side. Two top row teeth in. So there's a look from that side. There's a look from that side. Alright. So now what's all left is to get the bottom row of teeth in. And for this you're going to need your hot glue stick. I'm waiting for this to heat up. So when it's finished heating up, we'll fix that. And also I want to show you something. If you have any patches, because when you do put Elmer's glue over the marker here, it will kind of smear a little bit. So what you can do is once the Elmer's glue is dry, is touch it up with permanent marker and then recover it. Like this one, I retouched up a few areas. Now they're different colors right now because I haven't covered them up with Elmer's glue again. Once you cover it up, they'll go back to the original color of the rest of it. Alright. So I'll just do that really quick while we're waiting for the hot glue to dry. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Hot glue is ready. Here's the little teeth we put in. And this is going to be challenging. So what you're going to do, is pretty much what we're going to do, is pour hot glue in here, and then we're going to take these bottom teeth and just slip them right in there into the hot glue. Alright? So here we go. Like that. Take the teeth. Fit them in here. You can take your X-Acto blade and kind of move them around to get them nice and sealed up here. Just like that. Teeth are quite jaggedy, aren't they? I can work on them a little bit. But there we go for the bottom teeth. And now for the bottom teeth, we're going to want to push them inwards also. So what I'm going to do is also put a little more hot glue in here because I want to kind of create a sealment here. Push these together a little bit. Because what I'm trying to do, you'll see here in a minute, is that these teeth, you want to have them pushed up. So they'll come in just like that. There we go. Look at that. I do have some other Dilophosaurus, but we're going to just compare this one to this guy. So we'll just go ahead and do that. And I'll also grab my frill. This frill doesn't go to this Dilophosaur, but I do use it for this Dilophosaurus. So we'll just put the frill on first, and we'll just take a quick look at both of these guys next to each other. This one's still kind of up. Yeah. Pretty cool. Open his mouth. Look from the side. Top view, side view. Yeah, pretty nice. We'll take off the frills here. Take off my frill. There we go. And now we'll just do a quick size comparison here. They actually are basically the same size. This one's got movable legs, mine doesn't, but this one doesn't have movable arms, and mine has movable arms, so we kind of swapped what moved. This Dolo is kind of old, but it still stands. So for height-wise, if I do put this one down like this, it's pretty much the same, length. This one can stand up, but this one also can stand up if I do this. So, yeah, I mean, pretty nice comparison there. So this has been how to make a homemade Dilophosaurus. The teeth are really difficult to once get in there, but once you do, it turn out pretty nicely. Here's a quick little one more look at the Dilo. Hope you enjoyed this, and I apologize that this video kind of took a little longer than expected to get done. But yeah, I love this Dilopho. It's a pretty cool looking guy. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this how-to video, and I will see you on the next one. Until then, have a great day, and bye everybody.